Hello, everyone. Welcome to the network. Welcome to the Two Dads edition.
Wait, that's not it.
Start again.
Two Dads, Gen X edition. That's a great beginning.
I said, "Hey, mama, take a walk on the wild side." And the colored girls go do 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 do.
You know, there's times that he'll record us and he won't tell us he's recording us, like right now. Like he's smiling really big and it's actually going right now. And he's like, "Hey, we're going. I'm not going to tell you."
Yeah. All right.
That's our producer. So the porno music's been played.
Yep. Yeah, it's not porno music though.
I was waiting for you to say, "That's not porno music."
I don't have that high pitched of a voice. I'm a man.
Son of a bitch. I mean, I do squeeze my left nut as I do that.
That's how you get it that high pitch.
Porno music.
It's 70s mood music.
I'm showing you, not telling you.
All right.
Are we actually going? Okay, good.
We are. Okay. All right. This is going to be an interesting one.
So we're here. It's really late. We're going with the midnight hour.
Uh-huh.
What's with the midnight oil? What was that saying?
How do you sleep while the beds are burning?
Yeah.
That's a band, Midnight Oil.
That's a great band.
That is a great band.
The Australia band.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was back in the 80s when they were fighting against government.
Aren't we still?
Oh, I know we are. But
I still pay my taxes.
And
because I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to get flagged.
You know, it's really funny that, people were really upset about 3% back in the day.
Yeah.
We were like at fucking 57.
I don't pay 57% in taxes.
You do? Sales tax, property tax, income tax.
I don't. My income tax is very low.
Wife tax, girlfriend tax.
I don't have that anymore.
Grocery tax.
I don't have wife tax or girlfriend tax. Yeah.
Kid tax.
No, they're all grown.
Well, I mean, there's always kid tax.
No. Well,
just like there's dad tax with Halloween.
Yeah. That's another episode, though. We're not talking about that yet.
But speaking of kids.
Speaking of kids, yeah.
So you're dating. So
I am not dating because
I'm
I'm not dating right now. I'm available.
So have you got that little cutout yet that you talked to and practiced your lines that we discussed?
No. No. But I'm not like Ducky on 16 Candles where he like makes out with a cantaloupe to practice.
You're not like Nth Michael Hall being trapped in the little nightstand table. You're like, "No, let me out." That was him, right?
I have no idea.
Right, James?
I don't know.
Jason? All right, anyway. Okay, so let's pretend you're dating.
Well, I've dated before.
You did?
Yeah, between my first and second wife, I dated.
You dropped the D? Look on your face. Like, how do I respond to that?
No, I'm not going to respond to that. No, but so but like before my second wife, I dated a couple different women, and I made the mistake sometimes of not dropping the D.
So many jokes.
No, but of introducing them too quick.
Be good. Oh, yeah. What, like 5 minutes?
No.
Hey, guys, I just found this chick at the mall. At Quick Trip. Casey's. She likes the same pizza I do.
No.
It wasn't that bad. We ate pizza and then shared a Monster.
No, but like one of the things that I have done before, and I'm aware of it a lot more now, is that like I will kind of like idealize the relationship quickly. I'm a romantic, as you know. And so it's like if we're hitting it off well, it's like, ooh, all the wonderful things go on, and then so you think it's going really well when it's really not a great relationship yet.
I don't know because I've never dated you, so I don't know how a romantic you are.
No, I've told you stories.
No, you have not told me any romantic shit that you've done.
Just in the parking lot, I was telling you about the a date that I went on that was all romantic, and then it turned out not so great.
It wasn't good. Okay, so
I thought it was romantic.
it was so not.
Hey, it was meaningful and it was personal.
Yeah, it was.
That's what makes it romantic. Well, and it was at the edge of a lake at sunset. And it was a picnic, and it was, yeah.
We've only just begun. So, what would you classify? So, we're basically going to talk about your dating, for how long until you introduce the kids.
Right. And really, I mean,
in the honeymoon phase. And
well, because, like, yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, you know, part of my problem has been that I idealize the relationship early because I think it's going great. And then, you know, there's that, like, I think it's great. So the idea of, like, introducing the kids to...
So would you say it was great?
It's great, yeah. Is it great?
Was it
Did I say it was great?
Was it great?
Hey, guess what? It's great.
It's so great.
So great, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. It was so great. I mean, that was like a Saturday Night Live skit right there. It was so great.
So great, dude.
Was your deodorant working last night?
So great.
It was so great.
So great.
Were you pounding it so hard for 30 minutes that your deodorant, can it keep up? So great deodorant. By James.
Yeah. No.
I kind of want to make that now.
No.
Two dads deodorant. So great. Raise your hands, you would buy it.
I wouldn't. Jason, put
What?
your hand down.
It's your own. It's your own.
You came up with it. I didn't come up with
Why
it.
it's your own brand? Why would you not buy your own brand?
It's not my brand.
We're just gonna buy like Degree and put a fucking label on it. So great. We're gonna have a blue one with my face.
That's what we need to do. It's just
and
so
a green
great.
one with your face, and combine. I'm the right pit. You're the left pit. This is such a stupid conversation. That's why it's awesome. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there it is again.
No. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so you have your So Great deodorant on.
No. It was so great of a date. That's what it was. Stay on track here, Dawson.
Because
Come
of
on.
the deodorant.
Dawson, stay on track.
Okay, we're on track. You know,
Oh
when you
my
put
goodness.
a deodorant on, it goes on like a track. So great. Oh, sorry. I'm like bouncing.
Yeah, you're hitting everything now.
That's what she said. Okay. So anyway, so you're dating. So really,
I wouldn't mind dating, but I'm not dating anybody right now.
It's all hypothetical. I mean,
hypothetical.
in
Okay.
the past and
So
stuff like that.
in the past, yeah. All right.
So we got.
So when I have dated,
the honeymoon phase. So,
yes.
So
yes,
we're
the
talking about
honeymoon
like.
phase.
So you're going through the dating phase. You know, studies have shown that if you've made it past the 6-month mark, which, you know, again, sorry, Vanessa, you've never done. I think you
No,
had
she did once. She said,
well,
yeah.
I was gonna say, I think you did once. I think it was like a month in of the seventh month. She's like, not happening.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
No, but the honeymoon phase, it can be, 6 months up to about 2 years. Because
but really at 2 years, is it really the honeymoon phase anymore? Because in my mind, the 6 month is like that phase where the person can only have a facade
for so long.
so long.
But,
I think a narcissist can do like 2,
and that's the
3
thing
years
is like the honeymoon phase is really like you're getting to know each other. There's the initial attraction, right? The initial like, ooh, this is exciting, this is fun, whatever. 6 months is when you start getting a little bit more serious, but you're still kind of learning the intricacies of like what are the likes and the dislikes. Can you actually communicate well? Sometimes people will start blending their lives. 6 months, a year in, you don't know how it's going to work yet. Yeah. And that's why I say that's the honeymoon phase, is because it's like, the 6 months to 2 years or so, up to 2 years about, that's when you're really figuring it out. Once you're past that honeymoon phase, so let's say it's a year, right? that's when the reality of the relationship really starts, where you've kind of hit your groove, you've learned each other's quirks and stuff well, and so that's when you actually are kind of getting serious, and it's no longer the honeymoon phase. It's now we're in a serious relationship and we're sticking this out because we need to, whatever.
I like to call it adulting.
Being an adult, yeah.
You start adulting. You start sharing bills
Mm-hmm.
and responsibilities and chores and
Yeah.
But
like before, in the initial, like the dopamine hit because of the new exciting relationship, that is not the time to bring in the kids.
Right. I mean, because you're still trying to
soon.
figure out who you are, what you are. Is this person going to fit my life?
Yeah.
And am I going to fit theirs?
Right.
Obviously, combining two families is insanely hard enough.
Yeah.
And so with that excitement phase, you got all the new, the passion, and everything that kind of goes with it. I mean, you really are truly building like trust,
Mm-hmm.
and can it depend on this person, or they fit that puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you? I mean, because really studies show, I always like to call it the Ted moment, on How I Met Your Mother, because Ted always went like all in. Every girl got head over heels.
Well, yeah. What was it? The first episode where he like told Robin he loved her.
He's like, I love you. She's like, wow, hold on, motherfucker.
Yeah, I've never done that.
He's like, is it crazy? And she's like, yes, it is. But I mean, we've all had those moments where the connection is so
Powerful,
like almost breathtaking to the
Mm-hmm.
point that like, holy fuck, like I've never felt this before. And those are the people that can really lose yourself, especially the younger ages,
Yeah.
And after you go through those phases of, okay, yeah, it's cool, we have a great chemistry, we've talked about that with other guests of, you can have good banter with someone,
Mhm.
but is the in-person chemistry right? And,
Right. Well,
and you
and
get
in-
there, and it's great, and you're like, okay, cool. So we have no bills together, we have no kids together, we have no responsibility together, we don't work together. So obviously the honeymoon phase, how I view it, is the getting to know you phase.
Mm-hmm.
And do I mesh, because everything about us is just literally us,
Yeah.
and the world doesn't exist,
I get that.
kind of thing. And I look at around the 6-month mark, you start to have the world phase into your relationship, and the kids aren't there yet. But you are dealing with parenting agreements, free time,
Right.
work time,
Right.
adjusting. And I think the biggest mistake people make is, this is so inconvenient, let's just introduce our kids so we can have more time together and they can hang out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the huge jump. And I made that mistake too,
Mm-hmm.
because I've never done it before at the time. And so I was just like, it'd be so much easier if our fucking kids met, see how they do it, and kind of go from there. And it was great because I learned that was the worst fucking way to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like natural, it wasn't slow, it wasn't, okay, is this good for them? Are they ready for it? All that stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, and depending on how soon we got out of a marriage, the kids are still recovering.
Yeah.
They're still trying to adjust to life as well, and so it's like if we rush in too quickly, then they are the ones that suffer too. Like when I was going through my first divorce, I was in Georgia, and they require a parenting class.
Yeah.
The court does.
Same here, yeah.
Well,
We talked about that and putting your kids first.
Yeah. And so, the person that was putting on the class said, minimum 6 months to a year before you introduce your kids to anybody, because they have to recover from the divorce too. They have to adjust to this new life and going back and forth between homes and all this other stuff. And then if you're like throwing somebody into the mix right away, it just disrupts that much further.
Yeah. Well, and I think, and it goes back to what I was thinking, like the world versus you as a couple. It just, I think really around the 6-month mark, if you make it past that, that's when you really do start adjusting your patterns, your life habits to accommodate or to incorporate, actually is a better word, that other person. And you start intertwining your lives together. And I've learned that you have to, I think my mentality now, after going through it multiple times, I think my mindset is, if you're going to be my kids, it's because I want to have kids with you.
It's an interesting perspective.
Because if I'm in a place that I want you to be a co-parent, then you should be a person I want to be a parent with.
Yeah, I agree.
And I will admit, my relationship, my second relationship, I did kind of feel that way, but there were circumstances that forced it a little bit. And I don't want to dive too deep in it because there's still
that's right, we don't need to
frustration about it. But it was me, I'm like looking at years down the road. And the first person my kids did meet was somebody that was pure accident. It was because her ex broke in the house, grabbed her by the hair, pulled her out in the street, and was punching her in the street. And the cop's like, do you have anybody you can go to that you trust? And it was me. And I just happened to have my kids that weekend. So that's kind of how they met her.
Right.
It's
kind of an extreme circumstance.
Yeah, it was kind of awkward to go, hey, I'm dating this person. I really don't want you to meet him yet. But she has nowhere else to go. And so that's why there's a strange woman in her house, sleeping on the couch. And it was one of those weird things that moment for me was like, oh shit, I need to be better about this. I need to be more safe. I need to think about my kids when I'm doing this stuff. I need to I gotta vet, see if they're psycho, see if they've done anything harmful, see if they've molested kids, see if they have a criminal background. It's one of those weird things. It's like, wow, I'll go to that extreme.
CaseNet's public in Missouri.
But I think a lot of people don't think that way. And that's
I think a lot of women do. I don't think a lot of men do.
I actually think the opposite.
You don't think so?
I think a lot of women don't think that way until they
with all the true crime that they listen to, they
the only people that look at true crime are literally people that have narcissistic tendencies. They actually have like a weird.
That you're calling a lot of women narcissists with that one, because just about every single woman I know, not like friends, but like even like clients and stuff like that, they watch or listen to true crime podcasts all the time.
Well, and there's a lot of truth to it. The fact that the people that do listen to it, and there are therapists that actually have said that a lot of people that listen to true crime have some tendencies to be more violent.
That may be possible. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I've always wondered what the obsession is, because it's like
I don't know. I can't attest. I'm just saying what I've read. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just it's something I read, and I'm like, the few people that I guess
that's a red flag for men if they listen to true crime.
Don't do it because they're trying to figure out how to kill you.
Yeah, how to get away with killing you. But it's when those circumstances that were forced, where it's like you weren't planning on introducing the kids, but they're when we are too eager to, that's a problem for us. That's a me issue if I'm too eager to introduce my kids.
Well, and that's what it goes back to. You're only doing it because it's convenient. To make your life more convenient, and I've definitely seen women that have done that. Just because it's like, well, I couldn't find a babysitter, so I just told him to come over. And that's how I met my kid. Yeah. I'm like, so you introduced your kid, then told him to go to bed. And who knows what happened?
I've met, not like dating, but like I've met a couple people who like they introduce their kids on the first date. And I'm like, dude, that's a huge red flag. That is a huge red flag. It's horrible. Yeah. I've got clients that have gone through or are going through divorces and stuff like that. And one of the things I tell them is like, when you're dating and stuff, do not introduce them to your kids. Give them, at least 6 months. That's the kind of the general rule that I give them, is at least 6 months.
Well, and the thing is and you're trying to figure out, is this relationship real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't know that right away.
So we're trying to discern, okay, I really like this person. We're kind of going forward. I kind of want to introduce them to my kids. But there's a difference between like love bombing, the narcissist is a person that tries to create the environment to fool you into thinking that this is your perfect moment.
And there's a difference between a narcissist and narcissistic tendencies.
Which is true. Like, I think there's
actually not a lot of narcissists out there, but there are a lot of people with narcissistic tendencies.
Which I do feel like there's the classification of narcissism is like, oh, you do this, you're narcissist.
Yeah.
Well, there's a general category for a person that does that, but there's specific.
There's a diagnostic criteria for narcissistic personality disorder.
Because everyone has
not many people
tendencies.
actually meet that.
Yeah. And we all do things that are selfishly in our own favor.
You know, it's really funny, though, too. Because, there's a lot of people who think that men are narcissists. There's another personality disorder that is very similar to narcissism called histrionic personality disorder.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Yeah, so histrionic personality disorder has a lot of the similar traits, but it's somebody who has to be the center of attention. And so they kind of like a narcissist where they're always trying to grab attention, things like that, but they will even sexualize themselves to get that attention if they need to. So, yeah.
I feel like I need to hold my tongue. I'm like,
Well, and it's this narcissistic need for praise, for accolades, for attention, for all that kind of stuff, and so they can act like a narcissist in the sense that they will try and undermine somebody else who's getting attention, because a narcissist is somebody who believes that they are the best, they deserve the best, and they're going to only have the best around them. That's more of a narcissist. Histrionic is, I need the attention, I want the attention, pay attention to me. And so when it comes to to women and stuff like that, they will wear revealing clothing, they'll be very flirtatious, all this other stuff to get that attention. That's more of a sign of histrionic than it is narcissism. Yeah. Also, the people that have the most narcissistic tendencies are usually the ones that project the most too. They call other people narcissists.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So.
I mean, we had that conversation where I'm like, fuck, dude, am I? And you're like, no.
Well,
I go, but so-and-so is.
if somebody's genuinely concerned that they're a narcissist because they've been called one, and they're being reflective and they're trying to figure out if they really are, the fact that you're being self-aware means you're not a narcissist. Yeah. Doesn't mean you don't have narcissistic traits, because we all kind of do. Even self-preservation is a narcissistic trait, right? But that doesn't mean that we're a narcissist. If we are like, am I one? I really hope not. We're not.
Because you have you wouldn't even give a shit.
Yeah.
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 So with love bombing, so my last relationship was insane love bombing. It was like George Costanza. I don't think this is working. I'm going to move on. No, you're just tired. Go to bed. You're fine.
Yeah.
And then, oh, by the way, I bought this trip for us. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right. Yeah. I guess I can work it out for another 2 months. And it was one of those things that I don't think I've ever experienced before. And I think there's a difference between someone that's love bombing to control versus someone that's just lost in someone.
Yes, there is.
And they're just like, they've never had that love before. And they're just like, oh my God, this is so awesome. Where I think
or they're afraid of losing the relationship, and so they love bomb to try and keep. But then there's the narcissistic side of love bombing, which is, I'm going to love bomb to keep. And when I see that, and then they become, very almost verbally and emotionally abusive. When the person starts to drift away, they love bomb again to pull them back in, and it becomes this push-pull kind of thing. And what it does, and here's the scary part of that, is it makes the other person in an anxious state all the time, because they don't know exactly what they're going to get. Like if somebody grows up in a home with an alcoholic, and when the parents happy, they're happy, but when they see the parents been drinking, they're afraid. They go to the room, they try and hide because they don't want the bad version of the parent. In a relationship, it's the same kind of thing. The love bombing becomes the tool that is used to keep somebody after really bad behavior, and then the person who's receiving that love bombing, it's, oh, but see, they're so sweet and they're really apologetic and they're really trying hard, and so I'm going to, keep on going. That's that push-pull, and it becomes this. It's one of the things. I don't know if you've ever seen that power and control wheel.
Yeah.
So there are there are 8 different categories in there of different types of power and control. They can be signs of an abusive relationship, but that doesn't mean it's an abusive relationship. It's not like, oh, because one person does one thing on there, it's an abusive relationship. Because we all kind of do little bits and pieces. Yeah. But that kind of push-pull behavior that keeps us constantly on eggshells, makes us always question ourselves, the gaslighting, all that kind of stuff, that is definitely power and control to try and keep somebody. And narcissists often use those things to keep a relationship.
Well, yeah, and I definitely can, I feel like I've experienced all that. And then when you actually have a real, a good, healthy relationship, you doubt it.
Oh, yeah.
You question, okay, what am I doing wrong? This is so good. Okay, when's the ball going to drop?
Exactly.
and it's kind of awesome when you're like, oh, my God, this is really good. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm ready for them to be my kids, to see if the next stage is good. So what would you I want to word this correctly, and I know I'm looking into my thing. So you do feel like it's good. You really want to introduce your kids. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure that it's a good relationship. Or not a good relationship. You want to make sure it's
a horrible relationship before you
introduce your kids. Yeah, basically, you feel like it's the right time, and we're in that 6 month to 2 year mark, and all the ducks are lining up. So what do you do? What steps do you take to make sure you're ready and your kids are ready? Introduce somebody.
So there are some basic things that I think are effective in recognizing if your relationship is a healthy relationship, because we don't want to say it's a good or bad relationship, because that's all subjective, but there's healthy and there's unhealthy, right? People say toxic, right? But it's healthy or unhealthy is what I like to use. So first things first is if
doing a line of Coke on the dining room
that
table.
would be unhealthy. Yeah. But is there, and this is, whenever I work with couples, it's always a two-way street. So it's not just one person, it's always both. Is there trust in the relationship? Do you trust each other? Does she trust you? Do you trust him or her? Whatever, depending on the relationship, right? But is there actual trust in the relationship? If you don't feel trust, it's not a healthy relationship yet. And if it's been 6 months, you got to figure out why you don't trust the person.
Yeah.
Second is there healthy communication? Healthy communication does not mean you never argue. That's actually really unhealthy. Mm-hmm. Do you argue in a healthy way? Do you resolve the argument? Do you come back together? Is there emotional maturity? That kind of thing. Is there mutual respect for one another?
Like George always said, he goes, I only start fights just so I can get makeup sex.
That would not be healthy. I understand it, but no, that's not healthy. But is there mutual respect? Is there emotional safety? There's emotional maturity and emotional safety. And then are each person's values supported by their partner? Yeah, doesn't mean you have to do the same exact things, but our values are a huge part of our lives. And so if you have somebody who is absolutely anti this, but you're not, eventually that's going to become a bigger conflict. And so either the values are respected of one another or they're very similar. But those are the things, just some basic things that if those are there, you either have or are likely to have a healthy relationship. If those are there, then when it comes to is it the right time for the kids, if there are kids involved, the kids have to have, I have a couple things written down here, but
bring it up to more music.
Right.
Well, and so you're talking about the relationship longevity.
Yeah.
And so you're in a place that you do feel like this person, and that's why it goes back to what I said. I go, if I'm going to introduce you to my kids, then I have actually had the thought that I do want to have kids with this person. And right. It's kind of my gauge. Now, that wasn't how it was at first? No. Because I didn't want kids with anybody else. I'm like, fuck that. Don't want it.
Yeah.
Didn't want it in the first place. Da-da-da-da. But not because I didn't want kids. It's just I was so unhappy in the relationship that I had. And honestly, I think growing up with how my relationship was with my parents and my dad leaving and all that stuff like that, that I think mentality that I thought that the relationship had to be perfect before you had kids.
Yeah.
And that was a horrible way to think. And I had that mentality back then. Now I've grown
because there's
up,
no such thing as a perfect relationship.
and I've gotten better. So then I started thinking, oh, you know what? If I'm going to introduce my kids to anybody, I better be ready to have kids with that person.
Yeah, because the mindset I think that supports is how are they when it, for us if it's a woman, it's like how would they be as a mother? How would they be with disciplining kids? How would they love kids? How would they, all these different things. It's like, do they have the traits that we would want our kids to be raised with if they were their mother? And same thing for women with men, where it's like, how would this person be as a father? Would they be present? Would they work hard? Would they, instill good values? All those things are important in evaluating whether or not it's the right kind of person for you.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a great gauge is, could you imagine that person as the parent of your children?
Yeah. And I think I learned through therapy, and here's like the kind of misconception. I think a lot of people with the combined families, they think they're coming in to be the parent.
Mm-hmm.
You're not.
No,
you're not. And it was really eye-opening.
And it's inappropriate for like it. Let's say if I wanted somebody to come in and I was expecting them to be a mother to my kids.
Yeah, no.
That's inappropriate. It's inappropriate for somebody to expect me to come in and be the father to their kids, especially if there is a father that is involved, or a mother that's involved. We're not replacing people. We're adding, but we're not replacing.
Yeah, you're like B software. Don't do it. Don't push the button. We don't need porn music right now. And so really, like, you look at that kind of concept, and then you ask yourself, are my kids ready to meet somebody?
Yeah.
So if like you're a month out of divorce and you're already introducing your kids to people,
you're fucking them up. Don't do it.
It's not good. And you got to be in a place that where you have to gauge your kids. Have they gotten over the grief of the family breaking up and moved on? Have they expressed what they're doing, and do they feel more in a similar place? And it really does boil down to, did you transition if you go back to our episode, put the kids first in the divorce? It really does teach you how to help your kids through that process to when they're grieved over that and they've processed the divorce, that puts you in a place and them in a place that they are ready to meet another person that you'll get there.
And just like there is no perfect relationship, it's not like you can't be dating or get involved with somebody or even introduce them to somebody unless they are perfectly through the grieving process.
Yeah. No.
That's not that's also a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
But recognizing that they are going through a grieving process, and that needs to be respected before you add more into their lives that they may not be ready for, because they're still adjusting. They're still adjusting to two homes. They may be, their birthday might be, they now have a birthday with mom and they have a birthday with dad, and that's new.
Yeah.
It takes time to adjust. Give them that time to adjust. You can be dating, sure. You can go out, do it, have fun. But when it comes to the actual introducing kids to somebody else, they need to go through that process too. So do we. Yeah,
and I think you also have to consider the age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think the younger they are, it's a little easier. Teenagers, it makes it a little harder.
Yeah.
One thing I really learned was if your kid's 6 years old, it takes about 6 years for them to see you as a authoritative figure or a parent. And so it takes as many years as their age for you to be that trusted parent.
Yeah, I think it depends on the kid and it depends on the adult, but I mean, that might be a good general rule.
Well, and it just kind of really does work that way, because I did date one person that had younger kids, and they adapted faster.
Yeah.
Compared to teenager ones, where they're like, fuck this, you're destroying our lives, you're changing everything, you're coming here, oh my God, you're actually holding us accountable, you're making us do that. Because I got tired of them fucking talking back to their mom and treating her like shit.
Right.
And I'm like, whoa, come on, man, don't talk to your mom like that. And they're like, fuck you, you're not my dad. I'm like, okay, I wasn't trying to be.
Yeah.
But what the fuck, you know?
The other side of that, too, though, is our lives don't need to be dictated by our children's attitudes or behavior or feelings, right? We're the adults in the room. Sometimes kids will adapt well. Sometimes they won't. It depends on the kid. Depends on a lot of different factors. But if our kids aren't quite ready, but it's been enough time, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't go out and date or shouldn't find somebody that we're comfortable with just because we're afraid our kids aren't going to like them. Because sometimes kids become possessive of their parents, and nobody's going to be good enough.
Yeah, that was the
right?
That was the ex.
Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing is I did date quite a bit of. I hate when I say quite a bit.
You hoard around.
I'm
just kidding.
There were. There were a few that literally would, like, I'd go on 1 or 2 dates, we hit it off really well. Yeah. And then, like, oh, you know what? I really like you, and I feel myself falling for you, but I don't want to destroy my kids' lives, so I got to wait till they graduate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and
not
I'm
healthy
like,
either.
I go, you're
may not be healthy.
Your love, you're like pushing your love to your kids. Like your whole love,
and that's the problem.
Like you're codependent on your kids' affection and love. And that's not healthy either. Yeah. And it's funny because you're like looking at the concept of if you're using your kids as your safe zone, that's not good.
No, it's not healthy.
It's not healthy. Just like if you're not respecting your kids and just like jumping in and introducing them to 45 guys, 45 girls, that's not good either. Nope. Because then they devalue relationships, they devalue marriage. There's so many people that I know that have no value in marriage because they had a promiscuous, free loving, whatever. And I don't mean like just being crazy bad, but just flatantly just like every week they were meeting a new guy. and
that's
they're like, that's here we go again.
So
here we
go
again. And I think back with my stepdad, Greg. I mean, he came in trying to be dad, trying to like lay down the law, and he didn't need to because my mom actually had boundaries, had rules, actually was an authoritative figure, actually punished us when we did something wrong. Like she actually was a good mom. Like she actually punished us when we fucked up. And that's what I learned in therapy is you don't come in trying to be the adult. And rule number one is
no. You come in being an adult.
You know what I mean? A parent.
You don't have to come in to be a parent.
But you don't come in like laying down the law and all that stuff. But I'm sorry, guys out there, if you have kids and you're dating somebody, you're the disciplinary. Yep. That person coming in is your supporting staff. Yeah. They're the teacher. Yeah. They're the combo. They reinforce your rules. If you don't have rules in your home and you expect the person you're dating to come in and be the mom, be the dad, those kids are going to fucking hate them.
Well, not only that, but you're not in a healthy place to find the right kind of partner that's going to be healthy for your kids if that's what you're expecting.
And I told my stepdad, like, I remember him being like super aggressive. And I looked at him, I go, Greg, you're not my dad, but I respect you as an adult, an authoritative figure. I go, stop trying to be my dad. Yeah. I go, be my mom's partner and reinforce her roles. And coming from a 16-year-old,
that's pretty good awareness for a 16-year-old.
Floored him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, okay. Yeah. All right. And because we went back and forth, I used to DJ and I had music and stuff like that. And I had this radio. And it was really cool because he comes in, oh, it's too fucking loud, turn it down, da-da-da-da. I go, hold on. We did this yesterday. Yeah. And we went back and forth. I go, you know what? Hold on. So I went and got a soldering tool. And I go, okay, we're going to play music. I'm going to play 4 different kinds, one with bass, one with, guitar, one with vocal, all this stuff. And we're going to adjust it, and you get to pick where it's at, and I'm going to solder it to that point. So I can't go higher or lower, and you can't bitch after that because you picked it.
How'd that go?
He actually had it like
louder than you were playing?
Way louder.
Yeah.
He had it so loud, but I actually had so much respect for him after that because he took the time to recognize that I was respecting him.
Yeah.
And that we sat down and actually found a common ground, that he actually went above what he would do because I was respecting him. And after that, we had a great fucking relationship.
That's really what, when it comes to a partner coming in, it's not that they're trying to be they should not be trying to be a parent. They shouldn't be trying to take over the role or anything like that. But finding that mutual respect with the partner's kids, so somebody coming into my life who can have a healthy relationship with my kids. They don't need to be the parent, but they are going to be an adult figure in their life, and so there are some respect things, but it's not their job to parent their kids. It's mine, that kind of thing. But let's say everything is going well, right? Then they are that respectful and they're a good fit and all this other stuff. What would be a good way for the first kind of introductions? Because you talked about like that one girl that you're dating where like all of a sudden she shows up because there was a horrible domestic kind of situation. But what would be, and that's kind of like, you can't really help that. But what would be a healthy way to, do you think?
Well, I think it definitely comes down to take your time, go slow, make it casual. Make it kind of like a group meeting. I know when with A, we we actually met with a couple people from work with our kids.
Yeah.
So we all met at Deanna Rose. I think there's like 4 of us. And all the kids got to play and got to know each other. And it was kind of funny because I think her daughter told my daughter that, oh, hey, I think your dad likes my mom. And she's like, oh, I think my dad likes your mom. And they actually like,
yeah, they're making out over there. That's a good sign. No.
They're in the slide. They disappeared in the tube slide. I was like, what? Our producer's like signaling us, and like, we got to teach him like hand, we need to come up with better and stuff.
But yeah, something casual, something fun. Honestly, I think it might be a good thing too to kind of trade off where it's like you're not necessarily meeting everybody all at once, but like your partner meeting your kids, you meeting their kids if they have them, that kind of thing. And then bringing them together if the kids respond well to the partners. Well,
and I've done both.
Okay, how did it go for each one?
The first was kind of it was more awkward because I'm like, hey, here's so and so. This is my boyfriend. Where the casual meeting up with actual multiple people, and all the kids are there. They're playing, they're having fun, and I'm like, hey, how do you like so-and-so and so-and-so? And they're like, oh, my God, they're so much fun. They're so cool. And I'm like, yeah, how do you like her? And they're like, oh, she's really funny. I like her a lot. And then Kira's always so intuitive. She goes, wait, why? And I was like, well, so we're like, I really like her. We're good friends, And so we kind of express it. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, kind of thing.
Right, but it's not a forced thing. You're not, like.
But like down the road as teenagers, it was kind of like, hey, I'm dating so and so. We're thinking of getting you all together, do an activity, and they're like, okay, yeah, cool. Let us know when. And so it's like more casual when they're older,
right? Because they're a little bit more mature. Little kids, it's more like.
But I found when you were talking about moving forward. That's when they're like, whoa, hold on. Whoa, so-and-so's not moving, right?
Yeah.
It's like, so then we're like, okay, let's wait till they graduate, all this stuff. And so I found it way easier when they're younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also what's funny is with Sydney and my kids, it was the first time that I actually was like, I don't even know how I'm going to introduce, like, how do I want to do this?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have kids. They're old enough that she's not going to be a mother or
right.
Like they recognize that, hey, this is Dad's partner.
Yeah.
We want dad to be happy and all this stuff like that.
And that's a really cool thing too, is like when kids are older, sometimes that you get that perspective from the kids where it's like, hey, if they make you happy, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to get to know them, and I'm glad that they're really nice. Instead of the 14, 15-year-old, I hate everybody because it's not mom or it's not dad or whatever. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, and when your kids are saying, I've never seen this happy before. And, 20 years, you're like, oh, damn, okay. Was I really that bad? It's like, damn.
No, it just means that she's really that good.
But it's so funny is like, you do. Like, if you're a good parent, you do lose sleep over how am I going to do this? How what's the best way to do it? Because you're worried about scarring your kids, and you should be. And we're just at Target buying shit, and I look over and I see Kira, and at first I'm like, God, that looks like my daughter, but she's at K-State. No,
or at least she's supposed to be, right?
She wasn't, and she walks over and she's like, "Hey, Dad, what's going on?" And she's like staring at Sid. and Sydney was like Homer, disappearing into the bush.
Shrubs, yeah.
and I'm like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, And so it was super fucking awkward, but also really cute for both of them. Cause,
Kira got to be protective.
Yeah, and she's like, "Who's this? Who's this?" And I'm like, "Where are you going, babe? Come over here." And she's like, "I was so not ready, and I know Kira wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready." But it just became a laughable moment.
Sure.
And they're like, "Yeah, that's not how I wanted to do it." And I'm like, but after that, I'm like, "Well, you might as well meet Quinn soon." I think it was like 3 weeks before she met Quinn, and Quinn was super cool. He's like, "Oh man, hey, what's up, man? You're cool. What's up?" And they're like, "What's up? What's up? What's up?" I'm like, I'm like, "What's going on right now?" It was really cute.
That is cute. That's so cute.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway, no, but I think ultimately it comes down to like, one, is it the right kind of person for us? Are they a good fit? Are we a good fit for them? Is it genuine? I keep on. There've been multiple episodes where I'm like, being genuine is the most important thing, because it sucks when you date somebody and you introduce them to your kids and then you find out they are not who they presented themselves to be. Yeah. And all of a sudden everybody's chaotic.
Well, what's your biggest fear, like introducing the kids? I know, this is kind of a side note. But that's one thing that I've struggled with over all these years. Of one, I don't want the trauma that I had.
Right.
I mean, I had a horrible fucking trauma. My stepmom was just horrible, and it's just like she fought tooth and nail. And this is my perception of it. I don't know if it really was. I was 5. I mean, and then just gave up at 12-ish, and it's just, it always felt like she was doing everything she could to push my kids away, or not. Sorry, I just literally took that, and
it's all right.
But push us away.
Yeah.
And it was so funny is with the first relationship after my marriage, I was so worried about being my dad, being the same thing, pulling my kids, like doing a combined family. And I worked so hard to make that family work. I was doing, family
That's
night,
what I'm afraid of.
Game night. And what the funny thing is, all 4 kids loved it.
Yeah, and not being my dad, because my parents are still married and they're wonderful, and I'm I've told my dad that he's ruined us boys for marriage because my mom is so incredible. I'm very biased, but they have a great relationship. They've been through their ups and downs and stuff, but they have a great relationship. But my fear is that I will try so hard to make it work that it'll be the wrong decision again.
Well, here's the cool thing.
Okay.
The family values that the church taught me, game night, family night, you actually have your family night every week. Back in the day it was sit down and watch a Disney movie, which Disney's not that anymore.
Right.
But it was value to me.
Yeah.
Like I found value in the family dinner. I found value in the game nights and doing activities together. So much so that when I did combine family, I instilled that into her kids.
Yeah,
and they looked forward.
All my kids are adults now, though. So I'm in the phase that I'm in now. That's not really a thing anymore.
Not true.
Okay, how so?
Because even now, when kids come to visit, we still sit down, do Jackbox,
Sure. Yeah.
We still have game night. So my kids see that I value that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that they're at that age where they're doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope to God that down the road they will do it too. Because
they'll make their decisions, yeah.
Their
decisions will be influenced by how they grew up.
Yeah, but they do see that there was value to family dinner at night.
Yeah.
Sitting down, and that time at the dinner table did build the bond of the family and the unit combining together. And that's the goal, is when you're trying to combine your family, introduce that partner to your kids, that you are sitting down. Generally, it will be awkward at first. It'll be weird.
Well, it doesn't. Everybody's family is different, but it goes back to the values, right? Are each other's values supported and honored and respected? Because, like, for you, the family value of sitting down to dinner and playing games and spending time together, which is a value for me too, that was important, and so that's what you were trying to instill. Not everybody's family is going to do that, but as long as both partners are on the same page and they're trying to create that for their kids in a genuine and honest way, I think that's what's important.
Well, yeah, because where it fell apart was what I thought was the longevity of it was a facade for her. When I wasn't there, and I don't want to say to monitor and maintain it, because I really was the glue that was keeping it together.
Right.
That's when I learned. I hate that my kids went through that facade. And it sucks. It's like one of those things that I do definitely feel horribly guilty about. And it's just like, fuck, I wanted to avoid that, and they still fucking, not as bad as I did.
Right. Well, and honestly though, I mean, going back to that question of what am I afraid of? I would rather stay single than force it again, or feel like I'm forcing it again and it just not go well. I'd rather be single and just be a really cool grandpa to my grandkids, and good dad to my kids, and good in-law to my in-laws, that kind of thing. I would rather do that. If I genuinely cannot find anybody that is a really, really good fit, which I hope I can eventually, but I'm not, been through enough. I'm being cautious, but I don't want to force it. I don't want to feel like I'm forcing it. Every relationship takes work, but it needs to be genuine. It really does need to be genuine.
Yeah. And I think when you're forcing it and trying to make it happen, you're going to make those mistakes where you put your kids in danger. You might overlook the red flags that do put them in danger, and yourself in danger.
Yeah, and physically, emotionally.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, more the emotional side of it. And I think the biggest thing to remember in general, everybody, is no one's perfect. You're gonna fuck up. You're gonna make mistakes. That's one thing I've had to really forgive myself about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I did my best. I really tried to create an environment that was good, and it didn't work out, and it is what it is. But now I'm in a place where it's almost phase 2. It's like they're old enough to where, hey, my kids might be the kids that have a sibling that's 20 years younger than them, kind of thing. But it is what it is. But I think once you introduce them, it's just, I think the beauty of it is, out of all of it, is you have to remember, if you're the supporting partner, you got to be patient. You got to take your time. Don't rush it.
Yeah.
Don't force the relationship.
No.
Allow each other to have that patience. I mean, I work with this wonderful nurse that she struggled for a long time to find somebody, and she started dating a guy with some kids. And she did come to me and ask me questions about it. And it's like, how did you do it? How did it go? And I did tell her, I'm like, don't go in trying to be the mom.
Yeah.
Just go in and support him. And if he's not disciplinary and he's not doing what he needs to do,
kick him to the curb.
No, I didn't say kick him to the curb. I go, tell him, I'm not their mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they did something wrong, you need to punish them. I will support you, and I will follow your rules, and I will support your rules, but I'm not going to take over for you. And if you can't discipline your own kids, and women need to understand, like, you want a man you don't be looking for a man to be your daddy
Right.
of your kids. You should be looking for a partner for you. And it does boil down that so many marriages are destroyed by the kids because they put the kids
They're
first.
trying to force it. Yeah.
And they force it,
Yeah.
and I think the Brady Bunch was probably the best example of a combined family because it wasn't forced. It was natural. They took their time. They went slow. And, I mean, Greg and Marcia,
Yeah.
messed around, but
But it's well, but it's again, if you take your time with it, make sure you're doing it right. Make sure that you're incorporating what the kids' needs are. Don't be ruled by the kids, but take your time with it. Don't jump in too quick.
And right isn't like you follow a certain rule. It's like you
No, doing it
follow
right for
sit down,
everybody
talk to each other,
involved. Yeah, everybody involved. So
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah,
Same time.
man, this is a hard topic. There's so many variables.
There really are. I mean, it really does boil down to just take your time. Don't fucking rush it. I mean, so many
Take your
people.
time to be genuine.
I think honestly, most divorced people want convenience.
I think a lot of the motivation is loneliness, and if
Yeah.
loneliness is your motivation, you need to reanalyze it because that is gonna you're gonna go a direction that you don't need to be going. It's not gonna be healthy because you're lonely, and that's what I'm trying to be very careful of. Is just because I am by myself doesn't mean I'm gonna jump in anything. So.
All by myself.
Oh my gosh. So, all right. Hey,
All right.
thanks everybody for watching, for listening. We hope this is a good topic for you
Yeah,
today.
and we'll put in the description like a basic kind of how to do it.
Just some ideas.
That's therapeutically been proven to work.
But
So
yeah.
Hit that. Like and subscribe. Jinx, owe me a Coke. Oh my gosh, that was so dumb.
all right. So what's the tagline going out?
Stay classy, Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
That's the only time I have a deep voice. Let's get along.
it works. All right, we out.
Hurry out. Don't keep recording if we're not.